Okay, we are starting our morning out here from a gas station in Waynesboro, Virginia. We are near Shenandoah National Park, which is where we're going to head, Skyline Drive, just about 10 miles from there. We're starting at the south end of the park. We're going to start out with a backpacking trip. Park the vans and hike in and do some backcountry camping. We're going to be getting on Interstate 64 East for just a few miles. It is beautiful out here. We got a beautiful day ahead of us. We had some rain the last couple days. So it's nice to see clear skies and hills. A lot of folks call these mountains out here, but from being out west, they're more like hills, but it is beautiful. We had been where it's flat for, the last almost 3-4 months. So it is great to see some elevation. Florida and the east side of Georgia, the Carolinas are all very flat. So we're back to seeing some hills. It is beautiful. So let's start this adventure. Away we go. This is where the Blue Ridge Parkway turns into Skyline Drive. I would have liked to do the Blue Ridge Parkway, although I've done that drive a couple times both ways. Just the nature of how our route kind of panned out. It'll be nice to go up through the park on Skyline Drive. Do some hiking, some backcountry camping. Ooh, they've got that closed off. I wonder if we can still go that way. Where we want to go is currently closed off. Well, that's no good. I wonder what that's all about. Okay, I think we figured out what to do. It's super confusing with the road closures, but it's all part of the adventure. We're able to figure out how to access Skyline Drive here. Okay, we are on our way to Rockfish Gap entrance to Shenandoah National Park. After a little bit of confusion, gosh, it is beautiful out here. It's nice to be up in a little bit of elevation finally. I have my National Park Pass. Normally it would be $30. Here we are entering Shenandoah National Park on the Skyline Drive. Okay, we are in. For those of you that don't know, the America the Beautiful Pass is $80 a year and gets you into a lot of different things, all national parks, national monuments, parking areas for a lot of other things. Well worth the money if you're out traveling. I always get one every year and it usually pays for itself. Gosh, it has been almost 20 years since I've done this drive. Did a cross-country trip, in my mid-20s. And took the Blue Ridge Parkway up through Skyline Drive. It's amazing. Saw a lot of black bears, I remember. Didn't do much hiking, so looking forward to doing some backcountry camping and hiking here. Great time of year to be here. So we're gonna wind our way through the park here on Skyline Drive. Stop at all the overlooks, and one of our trailheads will be at an overlook parking area. For backcountry camping, you need to apply for a free permit online or get it at a ranger station. I assume Kelly asked all that to this ranger here, so we're just going to continue on and see what we can find. We'll just sit back and enjoy the ride. All right, we are at the trailhead here. We're going to be doing a probably 7.7 mile hike, one-nighter. Excited?
First backpacking trip of the season.
Of 2021. Let's do it. See how my knees hold up. Okay, we are at the Doyles River Falls trailhead. And this is the map. We are here. Waterfalls are here, here, and here. So we're going to be doing this loop in red all the way around. That is this one here, Doyle River Falls and Joan Run Falls, 7.7 mile circuit, strenuous, 6.5 hours hiking time, 2,233 foot elevation gain, several stream crossings. So we're going to see how we do. We do have the option of just going down and then coming back. So we're just going to kind of feel it out. It is our first hike of the year with weight on our backs, so we're just going to roll with it. Starting off, this is part of the Appalachian Trail, which I've never hiked any of, so kind of cool to be on a little bit of that. Down we go. No campfires allowed here at all. Pack it in, pack it out. Now we are getting a little bit of light rain, but I don't think it's supposed to come down too much. And being under the canopy of trees here, it's really not too bad. It's actually kind of nice. It's been a little warm and humid. It'll break that humidity a little bit. Well, it just keeps getting more and more lush down in here. It's funny, when we started up top there, most of those trees were just starting to bud out. But just as far as we've dropped down here, all the trees have leaves on them. And it's just super green. These waterfalls, pretty awesome. Looks like we made it to the lower Doyles Falls. All right, we are starting to see some camp spots here. There's a little one. But we're going to continue down just a little bit, see if we can find something else, and then if not, we'll come back to that. Okay, we're back to this little campsite here. I mean, this is really the best we could find. So we will call this home for the night.
Oh boy. You know what we need? We need some leveling jacks to level out this path.
It's quite a slope here. But it's gonna have to do. All right, we're gonna get camp set up and get some dinner going. Well, the rain did let up. We're actually seeing some blue skies up there. The sun is poking through. And this is just awesome in here. What a cool little place to camp. So We've got our dinner heated up here. I'm gonna kick back and enjoy a hot meal.
Bon appetit.
Enjoy. Well, our food and trash is right where we left it, hanging from a tree. This stuff is a lifesaver, instant Cafe Bustelo. Actually tastes pretty darn good.
Could you make the little heart patterns in my coffee too?
No.
Ah, come on. No tip for you. It's a little hot. It's too hot yet. But let's come back to it once I can actually drink. Cappuccino.
All right, well, it totally cleared up when we got the sun shining. There was some rain in the forecast, but it looks like no longer because we've got nice clear skies. Good to see that. We're able to break camp. Gave our little campsite here a good going over, make sure we didn't leave any micro trash or anything, and we're looking good. So we're going to go ahead and hit the trail. I believe we've got a good 5 miles ahead of us. Good few miles of it is going to be a pretty good climb, so we got that ahead of us. Let's do it.
Go.
I hope someone dropped this on accident. It'll make me pack it out for them. Don't do that. Well, we made it up out of the valley. It was a pretty strenuous uphill coming up out of there, but short. And we're back to getting views of the hills across the way. Very beautiful. It's interesting how much less the trees have leaves on them up here. Down in the valley, all the trees are all filled out. And up here, a lot of them are just starting to bud out. Just that, whatever, 1,500, 1,800 feet difference. Beautiful day to be out though. Cleared right up. Well, we are making our way to our parking lot. This is just an overlook, so we got to continue on the AT just a little further. But this is a beautiful overlook. Awesome view from here. We made it. You can see our vans through the trees there. That was an awesome hike. Yeah, we went down that way yesterday. Came up the AT today. And we're going back to our vans right now. Home sweet home. Yeah, home sweet home. Got a couple of red potatoes too. We're going to toss those in there. In case you're wondering what I'm spraying here, this is just distilled white vinegar. I use that to kind of clean up all my surfaces and utensils as I'm cooking. I even use it to wash my vegetables. It's got antibacterial properties as well as breaks down oils. Use that. So I got that pork loin chopped up into chunks. I actually took those vegetables out that I just chopped and put in there. I wanted to have the pork loin on the bottom. And I'm tempted to cook that a little bit on its own to get it nice and tender, but I'm going to go ahead and toss everything else in with it, I think. Well, my little box van camper project here, I feel like has kind of come together well. I'm able to live out of it the way that I've envisioned. So it was a lot of work. I felt like I was rushed, obviously, doing it on the road. I'm so grateful for Mark and Bill for opening up their driveways to me. Really allowed me to get a lot of work done. I really didn't want to overstay my welcome. So, you know, I really tried to expedite the process, but I feel like we did a good job. And everything I'm pretty pleased with. There's really not a whole lot I would do different. Still got some refining to do on most of the things in the van, but I typically don't do a lot of finish work on my camper vans. I try to treat it like a little cabin, you know, rustic, utilitarian. I don't want it too nice because I'm out camping in it. I track a lot of dirt in and out of it, and I just don't really want to have the type of setup where I'm afraid to use it, I'm afraid to get dirty, and that's the idea, to get me out. It's just a tool to get me out into the wilderness, into nature. So that's kind of how I try to approach it, and so far it's working out well for that purpose. You know, just like here in the park, got me out. It's got all my backpacking gear in it, so we can go into places like this and just park it, get out into the wilderness, do some backcountry camping, and then have my little home waiting for me in the parking lot when I come back. Reminds me of trips I used to do when I was static and, you know, had an apartment, and I'd go drive lots of miles somewhere, and, you know, at the end of a backpacking trip you always got that long drive home, and like here, the home was sitting right in the parking lot. Didn't have to drive anywhere. It's been working out well. That's one of the things I love about having this camper van, is it gets me out to be able to do things that I want to do, that I've always wanted to do. So it's coming together. Alright, I got to figure out if I want to cook this meat a little bit on its own or just add everything in there. I'm just a little worried that like the onions and celery are going to cook down too much. So I might get that meat going a little bit on its own. I'm just going to add some water to it. It's pre-seasoned. I'm going to kind of do like a stew. So I'll get that going in the pressure cooker. cook it for a little bit, and then let it cool down, take the top off, and then add the veggies and cook a little more. I'm super hungry. I shouldn't be making a meal that's going to take this long, but it should be about 25-30 minutes total. Why, hello there. What you drinking?
Juice. Orange juice. Hey, nice little donut you got here. That way you have one you can just get doity.
We got about another 10 minutes here under pressure. All right, we turned the heat off on the pressure cooker. We're gonna let that depressurize. Kelly brought over this focaccia bread, so we're getting that browned up. This is gonna be a pretty awesome meal. A little post-hike grub. All right, this has depressurized. This actually has a safety lock, so until it's totally depressurized, you can't actually open it. So the safety lock is dropped. It's gonna be steamy and hot, so we gotta be careful, and it's almost kind of got a little bit of a vacuum. Oh, yeah. That looks good. I'm gonna give it a little stir here. I'm gonna check the, check the veggies. Yeah, everything's nice and tender. I like the carrots still slightly firm, and they're feeling good, so I think we got a winner here. I'm gonna let that cool so we can serve it. All right, we got it served up there. Time for the taste test. Still a little steamy, but we'll give it a shot. All right, start off trying a little piece of that tenderloin. Yeah. I don't know if it's just that I'm so hungry after that hike, but this is tasting pretty dang good.